Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be True Heel Heat. SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
Yes, it is I, Holly Cameron, and I'm in your phones, but I'm also making an appearance for True Heel Heat. I've been told it's a fantastic podcast. Why haven't you had me on it, huh? Where's my invitation? I think you guys need to feel the right. I'm at Comic-Con today, but I think we need to get some, some rap in the show. So let me know. Upbeat person, you're watching True Heel Heat.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for AEWramble, episode 225, 14 before 15, discussing last night's November 19th. Go home to Full Gear edition of AEW Dynamite and Collision 3-hour special as only we can. And to discuss it, to break it all down with you, I am joined by my esteemed colleague. He is the man of 59,000 subscribers, closing in on 60K. He is the one and only person you go to for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling. He is Jimmy Macram. How are you feeling?
I'm alive. I hope you all are having a good day. My day just started.
You just woke up like yesterday, like 1 minute ago.
12:55 is when I set my alarm on Thursday mornings. Or Thursday.
What time did you go to sleep? Well, yeah, what time did you go to sleep?
8, maybe 9. I don't remember.
You know they have doctors and medicine for that.
I take medicine for it. It'll stop working.
So maybe you should get more medicine. I don't know. Stronger medicine. I don't know.
I'll give it a shot. I'm not against it. I'm not against
Or
pills
are
at
you
all.
at the are you at the point where you've gotten the strongest medicine that if you get any other stronger, you would be in a coma?
I would have to probably do any prescription medicine. I think that might be the move.
Yeah. You got to get diagnosed with insomnia or something like that, and then you'll be good. You'll be set.
I'm down.
You have years of proof of insomnia, so like,
no complaints.
we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on the video. That helps out the YouTube algorithm. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. You can also sound off in the comment section if you're watching us on demand. We love to interact with you after the live streams are done as well, and you can keep the conversation going in the comment section. And of course, if you're feeling you're with us live, you can sound off in the live chat. We'll highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here. You want to show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel and AEWramble here every Thursday. You can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes right to contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. It goes a long way to help the channel grow and move forward. So we always appreciate you for that. We got Zach Minger, Jimmy's favorite, in the chat with us today, letting us know that it is National Peanut Butter Fudge Day. SP3 and Jimmy, have you ever had peanut butter fudge?
No, I don't know what that is. I assume some type of peanut butter and chocolate combination, or maybe that thing those two girls were licking on Two Girls, One Cup. I would assume that's peanut butter fudge, not actually what they pretended what it was. It wasn't what they pretended, obviously.
I would hope that it's peanut butter fudge and not the others.
Yeah,
the other option.
I see. I've been bamboozled. That is not what they say it is. I can see it. Fucking liars.
Was it like when you were discovered that Santa Claus isn't real?
It's exactly
found out that
the fuck.
you were legitimately pissed off, weren't you?
Yes. I've lived my whole life being in disgust and slightly aroused. Now it's just angry. Fuck.
Like this man said, slightly aroused.
Can't trust anybody.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people would admit that they were slightly aroused by Two Girls, One Cup. So I commend you for your honesty.
Thank you. I appreciate it. If you say you weren't, you're lying. That's not true. It might just be.
I don't really remember. Yeah, I don't really remember it that well, to be honest.
I'll give it a look.
I think I saw it like once, and I never watched it again.
Something about. All right, I'll keep it to myself. Never know who's watching. I will say this: one of those. I remember one of those girls had fucking legs like Wonder Woman, not the movie, but like the comic book shit. Comic book fucking legs. Now, why I noticed that between her fucking licking in front of these, I don't know. It's like, God damn, look at her fucking legs. Anyway.
This guy, we're just tapping into Jimmy's head right now. But we also got in the chat Eric Isaac, who says, "Hey THH fam, happy Full Gear Eve, and all hail Moné 14 belts." We also got Davion here in the chat, who says, "Good afternoon, fellas. Glad to be a part of another edition of the greatest AEW review ever. Salute to y'all."
So we need to wrap this up. I don't want to be letting people down. Getting that vibe. Look, this show should have retired a year ago. Shit, last few episodes.
You have literally tried to quit on me like twice in the last 2 years. He's always like, repeat.
I feel nothing watching this shit on Wednesdays. Nothing here.
Hey, you want to be on Rated Raw review instead? You can review Raw every week.
I feel something for that, but it ain't good usually.
Hey, this week it should feel good. It was a good episode this week.
The last couple episodes been good because they fucking saved everything from the last 3 months for 2 episodes. Good job. Now, what about the next few? You bummed. Props to Maxine, by the way. And props to Triple H for doing it. At least you tried something. I appreciate it. It's not usually your forte. I usually can know exactly what to expect at all times. I did not expect that at all.
That's why that was definitely Becky's idea.
That was also my guess. Good for her.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, she completed the job. I don't necessarily think it was the right decision because I feel like this Intercontinental title is dead. It's a premeditated murder on the Intercontinental title because Triple H is not going to care about this title once he realizes Becky is over here with AJ Lee or over here with the main event scene. I don't have to care about this. Okay, cool. Maxine, you'll just be holding that Intercontinental title for a month, and then when we eventually want to take it off of you, you'll wrestle again.
Yeah, they'll put her on Roxanne or somebody. Yeah, but to be fair, I thought it was a bad idea when they introduced the second one. I thought the first one, you could just have them go between both brands. It's a good idea. It was like 2 of them, a US and an IC. That's a bad idea.
And at the very luckily they had Becky Lynch because she saved this Intercontinental title because the Intercontinental title looked like it was on the same trajectory as the US title, but the US title's dead. It's dead. They put it back on Chelsea to try to save it, but I don't even think that's gonna work.
They don't have the roster for it.
No.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I just feel really so part of me just feels bad because I was right in the end, but also I do care about my friends. I told you yet last week that I was grateful for you. So every week when I watch Monday Night Raw, and I remember that they did an angle where Braun Breaker felt like the biggest star in the universe, and now he is the third biggest. He could. There's an argument he could be the 4th biggest member on his own team.
You putting him behind Logan?
I mean, they have. What are we talking about? They literally introduced Logan Paul as part of the Vision on Monday. He came out with them and they said Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman, the Vision. That's literally how they introduced him on Raw. And Logan Paul is the one that knocked out the World Heavyweight Champion. Braun Breaker wasn't. So coming out of War Games, it's Logan Paul who's probably getting the first shot, not Braun Breaker.
Well, that's probably a good idea. I don't want Braun to take an L pump just yet. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. CM Punk's all-time great. I don't care about anything that happens with that fucking belt at the moment. I'm sorry. No disrespect. Sorry. Not intended.
I was like, the closing of Raw was great. If you just turn your brain off and don't think about it too much, it's just entrances, it's big stars. It works. It's what works for WWE. That's why I enjoyed Monday's Raw because like Ziggler coming out, getting a big pop and wrestling better than almost everybody on the card. If it wasn't for Gunther and Javon giving us probably the best WWE match of the week. So it was a good episode. I enjoyed it.
Do you think it was the best match of the week on national television or worldwide TV?
So far this week, yeah. So far this week, it was I really enjoyed only like really one match that I would say that I would put on that level that I was really impressed with last night. But yeah, I would say Javon and Gunther, there's not much argument that another match was better. The match that I liked on last night's show on that level, I liked it as much as Gunther and Javon, not more than.
Okay.
We got Sports and Things who says just sub to Jimmy on YouTube. There we go. Thank you, Sports and Things. We also got
Thank you, brother.
Danny joining us in the chat again. He says the show was okay. Wasn't much of a go-home show. The Toni Storm match was outright laughable. Seemed like
Damn.
they were too afraid to hit each other. After that, the show took a nosedive. He says the best thing on the show was probably Luchasaurus coming out with a vacuum.
Always fond of bashing Toni Storm. Same reason I was fond of bashing Undertaker back in the day. And today, highly overrated. But I can't blame her for last night's show. I can't do that. I just can't.
No, definitely it's the booking, not the wrestlers. I thought the wrestlers were actually good last night. I thought the booking, there was a lot of issues with last night that I do have. How is it dead? It's dead because Triple H does not care to push Maxine Dupree. That's why it's dead. You asked the question and then put LOL like I wasn't gonna have the answer to it. He said Maxine holds it, drops it to Roxanne, and no one cares. It's dead. He says then Liv comes for it. You're just making up booking in your head. That's probably not what's gonna happen. That's what you say. I need you in the chat, Danny, to say this is what I think is gonna happen instead of presenting your ideas like it's actually gonna happen. We got Big Man Dogs who says Hashimoto versus Saray was great, but that was last week. I still got to watch that. I heard that one was really good last week. And then we also got Power Driver Finisher says, sorry, Toni wasn't that entertaining. She did her thing, and that was it. So there you go.
That has been the case the last 3 months. Slowly but surely, you guys are coming around, and I appreciate it. This is a long haul. This is all I have left. Is this thing, sadly. It's the Toni Storm bandwagon. I'm pulling a fucking uphill because you all are impressed by Black and White.
No, I'm impressed by great promos. That's what I'm impressed by.
Great promos. Now she's Dusty
Yes.
Rhodes. Oh, good Lord.
She had multiple great promos this year, but you're gonna act like it didn't happen, even though
there's
documented proof of you complimenting all these fucking promos.
That's not true. Anyway, I complimented the fishbowl promo. I complimented the fishbowl promo. I complimented the Mariah May promo. How long ago were both those promos?
Those are the only promos you complimented.
Cool. Are those recent promos?
But those are the only ones you complimented.
Are they recent?
Leaps and bounds. We're gonna have to get. We're gonna have to get.
We have at least 12 fucking minutes. I ask again. Are those recent promos?
We're gonna have to get Danny the leaps and bounds T-shirt. That is his catchphrase, and it seems like everybody in the chat always wants to say that whenever we highlight Danny's comment here in the chat. We also got Rachel who says, I've been seeing people speculate Braun versus Roman at Mania, but I don't see it main eventing any night of Mania. WWE won't push Braun to that this soon, which is a shame. They don't think that is a big match. I don't see Braun and Roman happening at Mania. I think it's going to be either Roman and Punk seems to be the direction, but I could also see Punk and Cody. If it's Punk and Cody, then they'll probably do Roman and Braun, but I don't see it. We also got DDG Brew City, who says this is getting dumb. Now 14 titles going for 15. Seems like this is an issue for some people. I know you don't like the whole belt collecting thing, right?
Cheers.
We got Big Red Dogs. It says Hashimoto and Saray beat the shit out of each other. Maybe slightly overrated. I did hear good things about that. So, like I said, I'm gonna go over and check it out. And here's Danny, just in case Jimmy missed it from last week. I did tell you. I think I told you about this on last week's show, but he wanted to reiterate it here in the chat. He says, and yes, I still think Maxine is better than Jade Cargill. Jade was ass in AEW. She's gotten worse in WWE, and I don't see her getting any better.
Yeah, I don't care.
Then what did you And was there anything else I had to mention from WWE, or was there anything you wanted to mention from like WWE, their SmackDown, Raw, NXT?
Nope.
All right. Let's get into AEW Dynamite and Collision. Last night, it took place from Boston, Massachusetts. What did you think about the crowd last night in Boston?
They were fine.
I mean, I didn't think they were all right early on. But like most of these long shows, they just die out after a while, it seems. We got also here. Okay, no, I thought that was something else. But let's get into the opening matchup for the number one spot in the Casino Gauntlet for the AEW National Championship. It was Bobby Lashley of the Hurt Syndicate going one-on-one with the leader of the Demand, Ricochet. Ricochet coming out with the Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan, and Toa Leona, while Bobby Lashley came out with MVP. Before we can get this match started, and Ricochet grabs a mic and he has something to say. So he grabs the mic and he just starts yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping. Every time you think the promo is done, he gets back on the mic and he says he has something else to say. He's talking about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl and how the Boston fans can't relate to that. We get a fly, Eagles fly. He knows that the Patriots fans don't remember what it's like to be in the Super Bowl. He says the only good thing to come out of Boston has been it's been what was it that he said? Oh, the only thing that's come out of Boston was his wife. He says, "Love you, baby." He then goes to give the mic back to Justin Roberts, and then he says, actually, he has more to say. He wishes Ariel Helwani would have talked to him instead of Tony Khan. Apparently, MVP is getting senile because he called it the International Championship when it's actually the National Championship. He says when he wins the National Championship this Saturday, he will show him the respect he deserves. He has his homies here to help him in case with the GOA. He calls Bobby Lashley a big bald oaf, and then says that there is nothing anyone can do about it, not the old grandma in the front row, not the young kid next to her. And then finally, after what felt like 10 minutes, we get Lashley, who grabs up Ricochet. He finally throws him over the top rope onto the rest of GOA. He goes to the floor. He dispatches of both members of GOA. He returns to Ricochet, but he misses into the corner, a corner spear, and then he gets rolled up for a 2 count. Kicks from Ricochet, a standing splash. He hits him in the corner, then hits a moonsault, but it only gets him a 2 count. Ricochet heads back to the top rope, but Bobby is able to move. He charges towards Ricochet, but Ricochet pulls Bryce Remsburg in front of him. Ricky then gouges the eyes of Bobby Lashley behind the referee's back. He goes for the spirit gun, but that's cut off by a big, huge slam by Bobby Lashley. And then Lashley finishes him off with the spear to pick up the victory and earn the number one spot in the Casino Gauntlet for the National Championship coming up at Full Gear this Saturday. This match went about 2 minutes, 35 seconds. The promo went double that. Did not need to be that long. This was a squash. I don't know if this is like how you should be using 2 guys that were considered the favorite of this Casino Gauntlet, but we're way past the point of expiration when it comes to Hurt Syndicate and the Demand. And that promo just didn't need to be that long. I wish if it was going to be that long, Bobby Lashley just would have hit him with the spear 1, 2, 3 and not do a 2 minute and 35 second matchup. What did you think about this one?
Promo was awful, but Ricochet is awful. It has been for a while now, much like Tony Storm. And I didn't particularly care about the match after I was over it. I'm glad it was short. That was a win.
Yeah. I mean, it felt longer than it actually was. The 2 minutes and 35. It's because of that promo. That promo was just too goddamn long. It felt like double the amount. What happened? What'd you say?
Yeah, Cage Match said it was 5 minutes.
What, the matchup?
Yeah.
Oh, because the bell rung. The bell rung before he cut the promo.
Oh.
The match itself, the actual physical matchup, was 2 minutes 35 seconds. I didn't start checking I didn't like hit my timer until Bobby Lashley tossed him to the outside. So then we go backstage, and also it just felt like this was a matchup, like a squash matchup, to basically take the scent away from probably Ricochet winning the Casino Gauntlet on Saturday.
Beautiful.
We go backstage to the Ops, Samoa Joe and Katsuyori Shibata, Sane's powerhouse Hobbs. Joe says that it must feel good to be world champion, a fighting champion, no less. He was told that if he interferes in the match tonight, he will lose his title shot. So the company is now behind Hangman Page. Your world is about to get really bad, Page, and really quickly. You have committed crimes against the Ops, and you will pay for your transgressions. Shibata is going to make Page pay for what he did to their brother in arms, and tell him Shibata. And Shibata actually said something, not with the voice recorder or anything. He just speaks in Spanish, says it, sounds aggressive saying it, and no one knows what he said, but trust him. I thought this was effective, much more effective than the other promo we would get involving this feud later on in the show. I thought this was the better of the two. Joe is just great. I much rather have preferred they did a one-on-one promo. Still, their best segment that they've had on TV of this rivalry was when they went toe-to-toe, promo for promo. So I am very confused on why that is the only time we did a promo exchange between the two.
What are they going to say?
Well, what Joe said here was good. I like you committed crimes against, you took out Powerhouse Hobbs. Now he's the one that's going to be out for revenge, where he makes him feel like he's the babyface, like he's justified in all of his actions. I like that kind of like promo work from Joe, and I think that Hangman would have had a better response to Joe when it's a promo exchange than just leave him in the ring to cut a promo by himself. We got in the chat here, we got Davion, who says the Demand versus Hurt Syndicate rivalry should have ended a long time ago. Yeah, there's a lot of rivalries in this company right now that needs to end, and needs to end now. Especially if they have a match at the pay-per-view, fine and dandy, but end it there. Do not continue it just because there's only 1 month left in the year, Tony. Excalibur continues to run down the card for tonight. He then goes into something about 3 years ago, but he gets cut off when the camera finds Young Bucks backstage. They are watching various highlights from Full Gear of past, their matchup with FTR from 2020, teaming up with Kenny Omega in 2022. Renee Paquette is here. She wants to know if they are going to join the Don Callis family. That's when Don Callis comes in to cut her off. He says that after they win their 6-man tag team match tonight, they can give their answer to everyone in the middle of the ring. So he tells them to head on out. Don will do their special entrance that they love so much, right? So Don introduces him. He introduces him from Rancho Cucamonga. The way he pronounced that actually made me laugh. They head out. They get the big pyro for their big entrance as they're teaming up with the Don Callis family's Josh Alexander to verse the team of Skyflight, Scorpio Sky, and Top Flight that got absolutely no type of reaction when they came out here. But I thought that the performance in the ring did get the reaction that they wanted from the crowd for the action. You get Nick Jackson and Dante Martin. They start off the matchup. Nick gets the better of Dante, sends him out of the ring. Dante back in the ring. Nick misses and eats an enziguri. Dante misses his dive off the ropes, but he misses a kick. Nick misses a kick, and then they have a standoff. You get Josh Alexander, who tags in, as does Darius Martin. Darius Martin looked really good in this match, especially when he was on offense. He had a nice little standing Spanish fly into a tope to the floor. He hits a big drop kick as well, but he ends up in the wrong part of town, so he gets isolated by the Bucks. Eventually, you get the hot tag into Darius once again. He gets a Spanish fly to Alexander, a tope to the Bucks. Darius with the pin, but Alexander gets out at 2. Alexander with the big forearm, but he ends up getting ping pong between the top flight. Darius has Alexander in a powerbomb position, and Dante hits this beautiful springboard, double jump springboard, moonsault clothesline to Alexander that looked great. It was very innovative by Top Flight, and I thought that was when the crowd really got into this matchup. You get Dante, who gets a great reversal out of the BTE trigger, then starts hitting dives. Eventually, though, he is isolated as the Bucks are able to reverse some of his action into a TK driver, but then Josh Alexander pushes the Bucks out of the way. He locks on the ankle lock for the submission victory here. I thought this was a fun matchup, fun trios match that got the crowd into it. The Bucks and Josh Alexander pick up the win ahead of their $1 million trios matchup at Full Gear. And then post-match, we get Don Callis coming into the ring. Callis asks if the Don Callis family can come out and join them for this big announcement. He has something important to say. He says, what a big win for the Bucks and Josh Alexander. Now the world is watching and waiting for the official announcement that you are joining the Don Callis family. Nick has the mic, but Don takes it back. He says, don't listen to these people. The money has been flowing since they came together. The limos are back, the campaign is flowing, and it's in your best interest to declare yourself a part of the Don Callis family. Because I want to remind you, AEW can be a very dangerous place. The two of you walking around the back without a family, bad stuff can happen. And Don does this like fake out, like the Don Callis family about to attack him. He had me laughing throughout this. He's such a carny 80s villain. He says he would hate to see what happened to Kenny Omega happen to you guys. This, of course, brings out Kenny Omega making his return to AEW for the first time in a month. He is here with a steel chair. He goes after the Don Callis family. He hits the ring, and he goes directly after Josh Alexander after Alexander injured his friend Michael Nakazawa on Collision. He starts putting him down. He lays in the punches, the ground and pound, until the Young Bucks come in and get involved. They separate, they restrain Kenny and take him from Alexander before Alexander hits him with a chop block. Alexander then applies the ankle lock. Kenny is trying to get free, and then Don Callis gets into the ring. He tells Josh to let Kenny go. He says, let him go. He says that this is the announcement that we are waiting for. He says, how about the Bucks show him that they are a part of the Don Callis family? And he says, I want you to hit him with one of these. And he does the motion of the BTE trigger. He was great in this segment. He had me laughing multiple times. The Bucks grab the arms of Kenny Omega. They look like they are pondering or baffled or conflicted in their decision to BTE trigger him or not, until the music of Jurassic Express hits. Jack Perry and Luchasaurus come down to the ring. The Bucks and Alexander bail from the ring, and they stand tall. Jack Perry comes out with a snow shovel, and Luchasaurus came out like he was Marge Simpson in that Simpsons arcade game with a fucking vacuum cleaner. I did laugh at that as well. Post-match, later on in the show, we hear from Kenny Omega with Jurassic Express. They express that, they tell the Bucks that they have basically chosen their side and that they know where they stand and they know where they stand, and they plan on winning the $1 million in the trios match at Full Gear. What did you think about the Bucks and Alexander versus Skyflight and everything going on with Don Callis family and the Bucks, the post-match angle, and the Kenny Omega return?
Match is fine. Post-match was something we've seen already.
Okay. I thought the post-match was effective, though. I thought this was the only thing kind of even resembling a go-home angle on this show. I don't think there was any other kind of like pay-per-view go-home angles throughout the entire rest of the show. So I thought that this was effective as far as like building up the matchup for Saturday. Next up, we go backstage. Renee Paquette is with the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron. She says that they have Sisters of Sin in the women's tag team title semifinals of the tournament. Willow says that they took it to the Sisters of Sin before in the Women's Blood and Guts, but they were still smiling. But after they beat them in the tournament, they will be the only ones smiling. Harley says Mercedes Moné and Athena found that out how good they were for themselves. And now they will let the rest of the tournament know. Willow says, who are we? And Harley says, babes. And Willow says, what do we have? Wrath, says Harley. And they say they are the babes of Wrath. They jump and bump chests. They're just a bunch of fun together. Any thoughts?
No.
Then we go to the announce table. Tony Schiavone gives a nice tribute to a former colleague of his, Bob Caudle, who passed away this week at 95 years old. Tony Schiavone says that he was the voice of his childhood, and if there was a wrestling Hall of Fame in heaven, Bob would be inducted. We get the graphic, and we head out to break. Did you ever hear any shows or see Bob Caudle in any like old school wrestling?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I've seen like some old school like Jim Crockett Promotions Territory days that had him, but I wasn't like too familiar with him. But it was nice. It was like a classy move by AEW to kind of show support, especially since Tony Schiavone should be just used for that. Like if Tony Schiavone is not on commentary and he's just used when someone passes away, he's good at that stuff. Maybe we should just use them for interviews and just to come out and say condolences to someone who passes away. Then next up, we get the number 2 entrant battle for the second spot in the Casino Gauntlet for the AEW National Championship. You get Shelton Benjamin with MVP in his corner going up against Speedball Mike Bailey. The bell rings and Speedball extends his hand to Shelton, and we actually get a handshake to start things off. Lockup as Shelton shoves Bailey to the corner. Shelton really using his size and strength advantage throughout this matchup. You get Bailey goes around the world at one point, sits back onto Benjamin for a 2 count. We get a Marty Scurll cradle for another 2 count. Bailey applies an armbar, but Benjamin's able to turn that into an ankle lock. Bailey kicks him off and then out to the apron. We get a barefoot kick right to the face of Shelton. Mike goes for a tope, but Shelton's able to catch him and he slams him spine first into the apron. Speedball goes up top, but Shelton's able to cut him off. Shelton puts him down and covers him for a 2 count. We get MVP chastising Shelton for playing with his food as he has him in a chin lock. Bailey turns it around. He hits a nice little missile drop kick off the middle rope. Straight kick, then a roundhouse kick, then a standing shooting star press. That only gets him a 1 count from a pissed off Benjamin. Get a nice little spot where Benjamin keeps sitting up and Bailey has to nail him with multiple kicks. Benjamin returns to the ring and Bailey pulls him out. We get Shelton looking for a powerbomb against the barricade, but Mike Bailey's able to reverse that into a Hurricane Rana. We get a picture-perfect shooting star press, but that only gets Bailey a 2 count. Bailey kicks Benjamin, but he continues to sit up until Bailey eventually hits another shooting star double knees right to the chest for a close near fall. We get an armbar attempt by Mike Bailey, but Shelton says, "Get off of me," and throws him up. Oh my God. Throws him up, and Bailey luckily lands on his back, but I thought he was going to land on his fucking head. Shelton runs into a roll-up. He gets a 2 count. Benjamin then takes Bailey's fucking head off with this thrust kick where Bailey turns inside out, and apparently he had to be knocked the fuck out because the referee counts the 1-2 and he doesn't kick out. So he just stops his count, which really kind of hurt the crowd down the stretch here because this was honestly one of the better matches of the night until that botch of the count. I think that all referees should just count the fall. If they don't kick out, they don't kick out. I don't care if that wasn't the finish because that would have been a great finish if you just counted the 3 right there. Benjamin then has to murk Bailey some more. He hits him with a big German suplex, a run-up knee, and then finishes him off with a second thrust kick 1, 2, 3. Shelton Benjamin is the number 2 entrant in the Casino Gauntlet this Saturday at Full Gear for the national championship, which means we get Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin to start off the Casino Gauntlet on Saturday. That should be interesting for sure. What did you think about Shelton and Bailey, and what do you think went wrong with that finish on the botched pin?
He might have got knocked out.
I think so.
But a good match. Probably the best match of the night.
Yeah, I think he got knocked out. He had to be like knocked out in some way. But what do you think? I think that the referee should just call it as a shoot. He should have just counted 3.
Sounds good.
We got a couple of comments to highlight here. We got King Potato who says fire Paul Turner, which I don't know. I don't want anybody to get fired, but you know, it's just better. We got Big Man Dawes who says the TV is very Road 2 coded. This was very much a New Japan Road 2 show more than anything. We got Danny who says, I've never seen someone not want to be somewhere more than Jimmy, seeming like he really doesn't want to be on this stream right now. How I feel every time Dynamite comes on. Laughing emoji.
Told to shut up and do the work. We're shutting up and doing the work.
You want me to cover it?
Cover what?
You want me to cover the show?
Well, you told me to move on. We moved on. We're moving on fast to this fucking show.
But you're like, hey, I could tell too. You don't want to be here. It's okay.
I did until I was interrupted, but that's fine. I learned my lesson. A dancing monkey. We just dance
I do not treat you like a dancing monkey. I don't feed into you trying to create a perception and narrative.
A perception and narrative. What are you, fucking ChatGPT? Spit it out.
You have. I said you complimented more than those 2 promos, and you just kept asking me when did those 2 promos happen? They happened earlier in the year. If you wanted an answer, but you didn't answer me.
It's a little late for that now, ain't it?
I know you didn't answer me either, but that's like I don't like when we have these issues when you do something to me, I do it right back, and then I
did something to you. I fucking read a topic that had nothing to do with what the fuck we were talking about. That was me. I forget.
No, we started. You started talking about.
I'm certain of it.
No, I said I simply was trying to move on from the Toni Storm slander of it all. That's all. That's all I was trying to do. Yes.
Priest, Lord.
Slander.
Yeah. Sure. Want to move on? Let's move on. I'm with you.
We got Davion who says the vacuum.
That's not. That's fine.
What happened?
That's fine. We'll talk about what you want to talk about.
No, I literally started the show by asking you what do you want to talk about.
I want to talk about Toni Storm. You didn't want to. That's fine.
I mean, you literally didn't want to talk about when I asked you what you wanted to talk about. You didn't want to talk about that. You only want to talk about that when you saw somebody else insult Toni Storm.
Yeah, that's how shows work. People bring things up. We talk about them typically.
Yeah, we did, and then you tried to go in on her and tried to say that.
What's this, your fucking girlfriend? What the fuck is going on? Go in on her? Are you fucking serious? I'm not gonna lose my temper. I'm doing my really good job for 40 minutes. I'm not gonna do it. I'm keeping it together. I'm calm. I am fucking calm. Look how calm I am.
I agree. You are calm.
Are you fucking serious?
You think that she's been done and she's been bad for 3 months.
In on her.
I don't know if this is an issue or not, but I don't know. Danny says in the chat, or no, we got King Potato says Jimmy is not having it, and not having it today. We also got Davion who says Shelton and Speedball have great chemistry. This match rocked. It's unfortunate that the pinfall happened because it was going very well. And if they just would have counted to 3, I think that this would have easily been the match of the night because they were working their asses off at that point. That is a weird way to put it, but I guess.
Sure.
I was like, what?
As far as in caps, it must be fucking hilarious. Good Lord.
It's like, what?
It's
What?
thing to get.
You okay now? Are we good?
We're good. As soon as the show ends, we'll be good again.
No, I want you to say whatever you weren't able to say before. So,
well, it's not about being able to say what you're gonna say. If we're doing a fucking show,
because I didn't mean to like just cut you off like that. All right,
what you did? I fucking kept going 4 or 5 fucking times. The fuck you mean to fucking cut me off? Of course you fucking did. That's the fucking point of moving on. To cut somebody the fuck off. What the fuck are you talking about? Don't get me started. I'm keeping calm. I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing it. I can't be chat GPT'd. I can't be told one thing that I was there for. I was here for it. It's only 45 minutes. My memory's not that fucking bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Really? Is that why you just kept talking about something else? Was it a fucking accident? What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it was an accident. There was
take
a comment.
Fucking responsibility. Like I take.
There was a comment. There was a comment on the screen, and I was just reading the comment. Nah, I did cut you off on purpose, of course. I don't want. I apologize. I apologize for that. Next up, we got tag team action. Jon Moxley is here. Oh, this is where my energy for the show went down. Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. 1 week after the men's fucking blood and guts are out for a tag team matchup, as they are with Marina Shafir. They're facing Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy, who are also part of the men's blood and guts. Why? Did Tony Khan not realize that you are kind of diminishing any type of impact from the men's blood and guts and the women's blood and guts by having the people that were directly involved in the matchup on this week's show without any type of explanation or promo or response to what happened last week? That kind of diminishes the impact of what was a great show last week. I was so pissed off by the beginning of this matchup. Freshly squeezed chance for Orange Cassidy. Orange battles Moxley for a bit. They fight on the floor. The match started off with a brawl. We get Moxley getting the "you tapped out" chant. You got Daniel Garcia is in the corner of the rest of the Death Riders. We get Moxley going after Strong with some punches and chops. We get more you tapped out chants as Moxley is battling with Roderick Strong. Roderick comes back. He tags out to Orange Cassidy. We get the around the world DDT on Moxley. Cassidy tries for a crossbody onto Claudio. Claudio catches him and rolls through, but Orange is able to reverse things to a stun dog millionaire. Claudio to the floor. Cassidy goes flying, but this time Claudio is able to catch him, and he dumps him nearly into the crowd, right into the barricade. Cassidy slips out and sends Claudio into the crowd, and the fight goes around ringside for a bit. We get Claudio and Strong are in the ring. He gets him on his shoulders. Moxley goes to the top rope, but the Doomsday Device is avoided. You get Strong with an Olympic Slam. It looks like Orange and Strong are on the way to victory. Orange punches to Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. Another orange punch, but Yuta escapes and gets into the ring. While Bryce is distracted, we get Claudio, who comes in and hits the pop-up European uppercut on Orange Cassidy before Jon Moxley locks on the Bulldog choke. Orange is already passed out, already knocked out by the pop-up uppercut. So there's an easy win for Jon Moxley. Commentary basically explains it because at the beginning of the matchup, commentary tried to tell us or tried to put the perception that Jon Moxley has been on this long losing streak since All in Texas. When I seen him win on an episode of Dynamite against Roderick Strong like 2 months ago, he beat Darby Allin in the coffin match at All Out. So I was just so frustrated. This match did not need to happen. It was a good match. It just didn't need to happen. Post-match, you get Moxley, Claudio, and the rest of the Death Riders. They jump Orange Cassidy until Kyle O'Reilly comes down. O'Reilly makes a beeline right for Moxley. He applies the ankle lock, and Moxley is tapping out just like blood and guts. The rest of the Death Riders try to kick Kyle off of Moxley, but he continues to lock on the ankle lock until the conglomeration get back in and knock the Death Riders to the floor. We get Kyle O'Reilly on the mic. He says he wants to fight Moxley and he wants to fight him at Full Gear. So since he gave him a taste for blood, he wants a no-holds-barred matchup. And just like at Blood and Guts, the record books will show you tapped out. Good promo by Kyle O'Reilly. Why does it need to be a no-holds-barred matchup when there's a no DQ match and a steel cage match on this fucking show? Oh my God. This was the big part of the show that I did not like. I know there was parts of the show earlier in the show that y'all didn't like. This is the one part of the show that the booking just doesn't make sense. The result did not make sense. If you're telling me the story that Jon Moxley's on this losing streak, he should probably lose the matchup that you're telling me that in. We probably should have just heard a promo from Jon Moxley 1 week after he quit on his fucking team in Blood and Guts. And you could have worked the promo where it sets up the Kyle O'Reilly match at Full Gear. This was a match that was for no reason. Good match in a vacuum, but when you think about the Blood and Guts and everything concerning it, this was a bad step in when they were in the right direction after Blood and Guts. They went in the wrong direction this week. What did you think?
Like Raw a couple weeks ago, where I told you it was good because things happened. That's how I felt about Blood and Guts. Things happened. It wasn't actually a good show. It wasn't the turnaround. It wasn't anything. We just had 2 fucking cage matches. That's it. Now we're back to the usual program, which is horrible booking with good wrestlers. I don't care. I really don't care about this. This is where I tapped out on the show. You really don't give a fuck about anything. Fair enough. I don't either.
This like that. I ranted about this on the Fightful post show last night. I just ranted about it here. Like, it just does not make any sense. And why are these guys having a fucking no holds barred matchup when the whole rivalry has been about submissions? Shouldn't it be a submission match?
It's Jon Moxley. Let's keep it together.
Hey, they had a great submission exchange at the end of Blood and Guts, so I don't know.
Say that again out loud.
They had a great submission exchange at the end of
Finish
Blood
it. At the end of Blood and Guts. Okay.
They did.
So
was
what?
it not?
Was it a minute? 2 minutes? Watch a 15-minute match with these two? No, thank you. Bring the weapons.
I like the fact that they can see us. I like the fact that we're able to get into disagreements and then just talk it out.
I would rather not.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
Fuck is life so fucking stressful for? Stress the whole fucking day. I'm here over 2 hours and not stressing. Be stressed out on the fucking show too? Can I not? Can I just exist and shit on people I want to shit on? And then people say, I don't think that's right, Jimmy. And I say, here, I'll tell you why it's right. And here, this guy agrees with me. I don't agree with this guy. Blah, 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 blah. No. It's got to be this. I don't want this. I'd rather not.
What, you don't like when people disagree?
I love when people disagree with me.
Okay.
But that's it. That's it. Just disagree with me. I don't need to move on. I don't need to be told to be nicer. That's it. Just disagree.
I didn't tell
I
you.
don't need to be told to agree to disagree. It's my least favorite fucking thing on the fucking planet. We just disagree. That's it.
Well, I did apologize for cutting you off. I was gonna apologize again, but I know that would probably just piss you off. So
Yeah, I didn't take the first apology.
I know you didn't accept it.
Don't want it. I don't need it. It's unnecessary.
But I actually mean it. I don't mean
No, if you mean it, you would have done it. This is not the first instance.
We got a super chat donation here from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. We'll give you the mic. So
speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Shibata. What the hell is wrong with you?
Chuck Berry says, sorry, but I'm just not buying a guy like Kyle O'Reilly playing a main rival to someone like a John Moxley. It's a tough sell to begin with, so you need to do it absolutely perfect. And I felt like they were on that path to doing it well after last week's Blood and Guts, and then they kind of went in reverse this week to me. I didn't need Moxley to be tapping out like crazy on this show to set up the matchup at the pay-per-view, because now I just believe that he's just going to win at the pay-per-view, and we're just completely going to diminish anything that we accomplish in the men's Blood and Guts.
I think I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, though, to be fair, we didn't accomplish anything during Blood and Guts.
Well, it felt like Kyle O'Reilly had some momentum to me.
To do what?
To do something. To do something. To do something. Not just lose to Moxley at the pay-per-view. It was just a win to set up Moxley getting his win back at the pay-per-view. That just seemed that's not the something that I was looking for.
It's Kyle O'Reilly. You let this go.
I like
doing this for how long now? When did him and them face 2023? Is that the Battle Royal win and then the match between the two of them?
2022.
We've been doing this for 3 years now. Time to let this go. We can move on.
I like Kyle O'Reilly. I can't want more for Kyle O'Reilly.
Like what?
Like TNT title reign.
TNT title match.
We gotta negotiate 30-minute time limit draw for the TNT title.
Sure, and then we can do a rematch where he loses, obviously.
I'm gonna start negotiating with you. Like, what can we get this guy? Where can we get him? Like, can we get him a TNT title reign? No. Can we get him a TNT title draw? And then I'll just be happy that he got a title shot.
Yeah, should be.
We'll work our way. We'll work our way through all that. We go backstage where we get Brodito. Oh, excuse me. I didn't even. Well, no, I did. I did read the comment. For a minute, I thought I didn't even read the comment. I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the super chat donation. Appreciate you. Yo, that actually sounds like a good idea. Fantasy booking game show where it's like Price is Right, where you like try to just get your guy at a certain level and you have to work your way down. No. Okay. You're like no selling me.
Yo.
I appreciate the way you no-sold me on that. We go backstage to the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Brodito. They are backstage. We get Brody King, who says that FTR have attacked legends and family, but they have proven that they are one of the best tag teams of all time. But they haven't proven that they can beat Brodito. FTR are going home empty-handed come Saturday because they will beat FTR. Bandito says, yeah, remember, Brodito never stops fighting. This just lacked the energy and the enthusiasm that we usually get from Brodito in promos. Their promos are not like the greatest on the show, but it has a lot more energy than Ness had.
Take your word for it. This sounds like how they sound to me. Usually. There's usually more going on. They're usually more active. But they're both bad, for lack of a better word.
I think Brody is fine on the mic. He's fine.
I thought he was the worst of the two. I ain't gonna hold him.
You know, he was the worst of the two here. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm like critiquing this short promo, because it wasn't up to snuff for me in regards to what I usually expect from Brody.
Just keep Brody in the ring. Let's move on with life. No disrespect.
You're just making people check that off on the bingo card.
I love Brody. I swear I do.
I don't believe you. You always tell me you love these people, and then you are just slandering them.
I love Brody. Have we not pushed for him here on the show?
This is true. You have been a big supporter. That was when, at that point, that's when we had the Kenny Omega Jurassic Express. I did have the promo here. It was money can't buy you happiness because he knows the Bucks aren't happy right now. Kenny says that the money can't buy people. The Bucks have shown him that. And Alexander, you took out Ibushi and Nakazawa. No amount of money is going to save you from what Kenny has in store for you. Guys, you get a good sleep on Friday because these three guys, they bid you adieu. So goodbye, mwah, and good night. Bang. Then you had something to say?
Remember when Kenny Omega came back and it was like this gigantic fucking deal? And like, no, it's not.
It's not. I literally did a video this week where talking about all the missed opportunities for Kenny Omega in 2025. And I think I did note that everybody, including myself, was very excited when he came back at the beginning of the year. And it just seems like the actual fact of the matter is he has had one singles match in the last 5 months.
Yeah. I know his body's not doing great. But ill. I'm sorry. I'm jarred. I'm jarred by this. I don't know what to fix outside to get away from these people. Fucking Jack Perry and the Bucks and the rest of them. But I think it's over.
Yeah, because this is definitely leading to an elite reunion. And that just means we're getting more trios matches with Kenny Omega. And this time he's going to be with the Bucks. So the Bucks will do all the heavy lifting for him. But my whole thing is the fact that I did the reason why I did the video this week was, one, Kenny Omega was returning on this show, and two, if you're not going to have another singles match with Kenny Omega this year after the Okada matchup, you should probably not be setting up a whole bunch of singles feud for Kenny Omega then. And that's what they did. They've set up a singles match with Josh Alexander like 3-4 times in the last couple of months. They set up a singles match with Kyle Fletcher on the road to All Out that never got any type of follow-up. The Andrade one is kind of out of their hands, but that still doesn't make up for the other two.
Well, Josh Alexander's the fucking nobody. You can't really set up a match with him. No offense. The Fletcher thing is egregious. Fair enough. Is anybody looking forward to this elite reunion? I need to do a straw poll. I'm thoroughly curious. Anybody. One person. Even if you're a little excited, I'll take it. Because right now, it feels like this is for like 4 or 5 people. The Bucks, Tony Khan, Omega, and I'm never sure Omega's that interested in anything these days. And I wonder if Jack Perry be involved in this somehow. I seem to love this fucking cocksucker. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, I think the trios matchup, it's probably Kenny and Jurassic Express winning, and then Don Callis' family turns on the Bucks, and then Kenny makes a save.
Who's Uncle Dave's partner?
Brian Alvarez.
Brian Alvarez had a segment somewhere at some point in the last week or so, talking about how Tony Khan books for himself. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But you are essentially along for the ride. Which I can respect, by the way. If I had a company I was booking, that's how I would book. You like it or you don't. Nothing to do with me. That's how everything the Elite does feels like. Just this is here for us. We're doing a soap opera. I hope you like it. If you don't, it's too bad. I don't, by the way. It's terrible. I was terrible the first 3 times. This is the 4th fucking time. What are we doing? Good Lord. Kenny and the Bucks friends? Didn't they murder this cocksucker? Didn't fucking Matt Jackson throw him off a fucking stretcher?
Yes. Yes, he did. Just last year.
And now he doesn't want to fight? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing exactly?
Yeah. Yeah. Like they literally, it feels like I think Brian Alvarez also said this. They set up the matchup. They set up the matchup that they want to do and then just figure out everything else after that. They're not putting characters together that they think are going to create a good story and then eventually have a great matchup. They're putting 2 people together that they think is going to have a great matchup and then just figuring out the story every week. They don't have a story planned out ahead of time. It just feels like, nah, we want to bring back the elite. We want to put the elite together. So we need Kenny and the Young Bucks to be in a matchup against each other at the next pay-per-view. So we'll do Kenny and Jurassic Express because they just faced the Young Bucks, and we'll do Josh Alexander with the Young Bucks because we've been setting up Josh Alexander versus Kenny Omega pretty much for the last couple of months. And that's how we're going to bring back the elite. And then they just figure out the weeks in between leading up to that after the fact.
I can see that, but why? Like, why?
I am not going to explain why they do that because I think that is the wrong thing to do. I think that you should set up the story to beforehand, and then you can work your way through it, and then it will culminate. And honestly, this roster is really good when you could put two people in the ring, and 9 times out of 10 on a pay-per-view, they're going to deliver a great matchup. So you don't have to always just focus on that. Focus on two people, two characters that you think can tell a good story together, and you know they're going to give it that great matchup at the end.
I need to interview somebody. Explain why they lead it back together. Just a bare bones explanation for why. Is it they don't want to work for anybody else? Is it the FTR heels? We don't want to be heels with FTR. Is it you want to be next to Kenny to help him work his way through this shit? I need a reason. I need a reason for why this redundant, repetitive, repugnant booking is on my TV show.
I think it is just Kenny's body's breaking down. So if we're going to use him, we're going to use him in multi-man matches. And the people that he wants to do the multi-man matches with are the Bucks, his best friends.
There's got to be a middle ground between Hulk Hogan and working with my friends. There just has to be. By the way, I watched, I know, don't ask me why. I watched Triple H versus Goldberg at Unforgiven. 2003. Don't ask me why. It was there. I clicked it. And it was bad. I should imagine. I didn't realize Triple H kicked out of the jackhammer after 3, but he kicks out.
Yeah.
I've been a piece of shit for a while. Fair enough.
Dude, like you tried to call me out, being like, I've always hated Triple H. Yeah, acting like I didn't have a reason to. like he gave me years of reasons to not like him and not trust him, and know that the 2023, 2022, and 2024 was just an aberration to get some fans on his side, but I saw through it.
Yeah, that's bad. I didn't realize that. That's up there. The most egregious things he's ever done. This is a guy who's the biggest draw on the show, by the way, and we would like him to resign for another year, and you kick out of his finish. This is absurd. What are we doing?
Like I will say, because I meant to tell you this the other day when we were filming the Joe and Kobashi matchup, but I really enjoy watching old school wrestling with you. So I was thinking about another concept for a show where we just go over and rewatch a time period or a certain story. And I want to rewatch the Reign of Terror. For you, only for you, sir, to realize that I have always been justified. This is the PTSD of me as a wrestling fan. The Reign of Terror, that's trauma bonding. Us watching the Reign of Terror. Trauma bonding.
I don't know if I can do that. That's asking for it.
You don't want to watch Katie Vick?
I lived through it. I don't need to see it again. Katie Vick, I can do that stuff. But then eventually I get to the matches. I don't want to see any of those matches. 20 minutes of him and Kane and RVD and Goldberg and that Booker T match. 50-minute Hell in a Cell match. I don't want to see these matches.
40-minute 3 stages of Hell match. Yo, him and Sean just after SummerSlam, it peaked. That's why I think that I think it was you. Weren't you the one that said that Sean and Triple H at SummerSlam is overrated?
Yes.
I think that the reason that you probably think that is overrated, and the reason why people will probably like overrate, because I've heard some people overrate it, saying it's a 5-star matchup, and I don't think it's a 5-star match. I think it's an excellent matchup. 4.5 stars. I remember I rated it. But I think that people hype it up so much is because they never had that good of a matchup again. They had great matches again. Like I think their best match one-on-one after that is
Raw.
Probably me and you, we know each other way too well. We know each other way too because you literally said it before I was able to get it out my lips. It's the Raw match where it's the double pinfall. That's their best match together.
It's a great fucking match. Yeah, they didn't have the chemistry. I think they have. You're friends and you get along great, and the segments are fine for what they are, but the matches are just bad. Not bad, just boring. They're Triple H matches with Shawn Michaels co-starring instead of Shawn Michaels matches.
Yes, because if it's Shawn Michaels matchup, he would cut 20 minutes off of it.
Please,
like the Hell in a Cell could have been a great 25-minute matchup. The three stages of hell could have been an excellent 20-minute matchup. When that match is like 37 minutes, and then the Hell in a Cell is like 50, like, what are we doing?
Fucking terrible. No match I did watch recently that I thought was fucking fantastic. Doesn't involve Triple H, Shawn Michaels. I'm not sure why I brought it up, but it hit me in the head. That Lesnar, Cena, Rollins triple threat, that's 5 stars. I originally didn't give it 5 stars because of the interference from the security, but like, nah, it's just 5 stars. It just is. It's fantastic. Perfect.
I wanted to rewatch that too. Damn, I wish you would have said something because I definitely would have rewatched that with you. But dude, the reason I said dude is because I literally was going to put that on the list for season 2 of Goat Match Series.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Because I was like, we could schedule it out where we could do these matches in January ahead of Royal Rumble. But I remember we talked about watching like the famous Meltzer 4 3/4 should have been 5-star matches. So I had Angle and Benoit from Royal Rumble 2003. I had the 92 Rumble because I was like, we got to have one Royal Rumble matchup in there. So I was like 92 Rumble. Triple H and Cactus Jack from Royal Rumble 2000. I had in the list. And then I had the Cena, I did write it down. Cena, Brock, and Seth from Royal Rumble 2015.
Yeah, it's just so good. It's the second best Super Brock performance after SummerSlam 2014, obviously. And Cena's on one. And Rollins is on one. It's weird to see him with 2 legs.
Yeah. I think I gave that like 4 3/4. That's like, that's up there for the greatest non-Royal Rumble match at a Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
Yeah. Loved it.
You want to hear some of the other matches that I have on this list?
Sure.
Austin, Triple H, No Way Out 2001.
5 stars. 5 stars plus. All-time great match.
I knew you would enjoy that. For Black History Month, Kofi Kingston versus Bryan Danielson, WrestleMania 35.
That's a great match.
The Rock versus Triple H, Backlash 2000, which fucking shocked me because this is one of my favorite matches of all time. And I looked up the Meltzer rating. Holy shit, he gave it 3 3/4 stars. I'm like, what? Did he watch the fucking same match as me? This is like one of the matches that like are embedded in my mind for the last 25 years. And he gave it not even great.
It's like Roman Cody before Roman Cody. It's a great fucking spectacle of a match. Yeah, way harder than 3 3/4. At least 4.5.
Yes, absolutely. At least at the very least, it's 4 stars. Come on, Dave. What are we doing? But yeah, those are a couple of matches that I had on the list. Oh, the other one for Black History Month was Mercedes and Bianca.
I've seen it. I don't think I loved it. Maybe 4 stars. I forget.
Okay. So you got that to look forward to. Become a Patreon member, $3 a month, patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. Or you can hit us up, become a member of the channel for just $1 a month here by hitting the join button. And $1 a month, you get exclusive content like GOAT Match Series as well. So a couple of options for you. Then you had on Dynamite, back to Dynamite, we had here the AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament, the first of 2 first-round matches on this show, as we have the Timeless Love Bombs, Timeless Toni Storm, and Mina Shirakawa with their sequenized dance and their new entrance music, making their way down to the ring. Mina and Riho, they're going up against Riho and Alex Windsor in the first round. Mina and Riho start things off. They have a couple of exchanges, engaging with the crowd, posing down, having a posing contest. We get former besties Toni and Alex came into the ring. I thought the match was at its best when Toni and Alex were in the ring, very much having kind of their European world of sports kind of exchanges and some smooth back and forth between the two. Man, the fact that commentary added to the diminishing of the blood and guts gimmick on this show, and they had a line during this matchup where it said, Mina Shirakawa, she is slightly worse for wear from last week's blood and guts, showing no ill effects when she was the one who was basically getting beaten down as Toni surrendered. I was pretty much numb at this point because of the Death Riders matchup that happened just before it and being upset about that I wasn't really as upset as I should have been about this match and the fact that there was no selling from the blood and guts. But the story of the matchup was Alex Windsor and Riho make for a good team, but Mina and Toni are the better team. They know each other very well. They're on the same page. You get Windsor is reversed by Storm, Mina with a kick to the head, Storm with a release German suplex. Mina and Toni do crisscross hip attacks with cheek music, and then Toni finishes off Alex Windsor with the Storm Zero 1, 2, 3 to pick up the victory here. I thought this was a good matchup. I thought the ladies worked well with one another. Good chemistry with Mina and Toni. They just have that charisma with each other, have that connection. I was fine with this, and I was like, this is a good match. I won't worry about the diminishing of blood and guts too much, or the women's tag team tournament not really going as well as I hoped it would go. And then, Jimmy, they made it fucking worse. Renee Paquette gets on audio and informs us that the 4 teams in the semifinals of the AEW Women's World Tag Team Tournament are not going to have their semifinal matches at Full Gear. They're going to have a fucking 4-way where the winning team will get to pick the stipulation of their match when they meet in the semifinals. That makes no fucking sense. Why are they wrestling each other in a 4-way for the winner gets a stipulation for the semifinal match where you're making one semifinal match seem bigger than the other one? You're also making that one semifinal match seem bigger than the finals. It would make a lot more sense to me if you're going to do the 4-way, then have the winner move on to the finals. And then you could do a 3-way with the rest of the team to determine the other finalists. Because there is no reason why you just don't do the semifinal matches on Saturday and why we need to do a 4-way with the 4 semifinalists. That doesn't make any kind of sense. And you wasted time on multiple episodes of Collision, wasted time building up blood and guts when you could have been doing and completing this World Tag Team title tournament and have new champions at the pay-per-view. But oh yeah, we need to crown a national champion. So we can't crown the tag team titles on that same show, I guess. Jimmy, what did you think about the match and, of course, the announcement of the 4-way?
Match was fine. As much as Windsor bothers me, not because of her work, but because we know why she's here. She is pretty good in the ring, so she's fun to watch, as Riho almost always is. As Toni is. Mina, not so much, but she's fun to look at. So I suppose that's something. Match in and of itself, good. Didn't overstay its welcome, thank God. And I did the selling of the non-selling of blood and guts didn't bother me because I've complained about the non-selling of pay-per-view matches on this thing before. It just doesn't happen ever. I just assume the damage is not as bad as we all think. It looks bad. It's a little blood, but it's not actually bad. They're all fine. And that's my theory, and it's worked so far moving forward. As far as the stipulation, this kind of just confirms what I always thought. About TK doing cocaine? No. But about him not giving a fuck about women. He's bored with
this. This confirmed that this is a here nigga damn tournament.
He's bored. He's like, I can't wait that fucking long. these women's matches are not doing anything for me. So instead, we're gonna throw a little spice into the mix, and spice is nonsense. I don't understand what the fuck's going on with this at all. I don't care to find out. I'll pick it up as we go. Sure, a 4-way in the middle of a fucking tournament. Sure, whatever. Go ahead. Whatever you want to do, I'm fine.
But don't you think like my suggestion of how to adjust this makes more sense than what they're actually doing?
I gotta be
If
honest.
the person's gonna win a 4-way, they should just go to the finals and then just do a 3-way with the other teams.
But
And
these
determine
4 ways are the 4 semifinals, right? Semifinals.
these are the 4 semifinalists. Yeah,
So this has to be the finals.
that too. It could just be the finals.
I'm so confused by all this. It feels like extra steps. That's what I thought it was going. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of bored. We're just gonna do all 4 and move on with life.
That would have been the ultimate of him just admitting, like, I'm bored. I'm sorry, guys. I'm bored. I know this is what you wanted. I know you're what you wanted, but I'm bored. So we're just gonna do a 4-way to determine the champion.
This is
But
jarring.
no, we're just gonna do a random 4-way in the middle of the tournament when there's a pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view, and we're not caring about the tournament.
Having blood and guts right before the pay-per-view was clearly a bad idea.
It was.
Whatever. I guess we wanted to get it in before. When's Survivor Series?
Next Saturday.
I guess you want to get it in before Survivor Series. I whatever. I don't particularly care.
Yeah, there had to be a way, and the fact that you had the month of June where there was no pay-per-views, no nothing, you could have just done it then. Like I was all for the doing it 2 weeks before or 3 weeks before Survivor Series to kind of just raise the bar for war games and stuff like that, a strategic plan of that. But if this is the follow-up for when you have a pay-per-view 10 days after, wasn't the right decision.
No, it was bad. Terrible idea.
Yeah. If you don't know how to follow up and get to the pay-per-view, then it's a bad decision.
I hate this show.
Alicia too is backstage with Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe ahead of their no disqualification, no TNT title match this Saturday at Full Gear. She says they agreed to no physicality. She wants to know why Kyle accepted a match with these kind of stipulations. Kyle says that he couldn't turn down the challenge. He will defeat Briscoe and he will come out and be part of a real family. Briscoe says, don't talk to him about family. He fought alongside his real family for decades. The conglomeration is his real family now. And he bled with them in a cage this past week. He is going to take that title from Fletcher, and he will make sure that he will never disrespect him or his family again. Briscoe is attacked from behind by Hechicero and Kazuchika Okada. They hold them in place so Don Callis can tell them that they are going to make orphans out of Mark's kids. I was like, Don, you need to relax, sir. That was so uncalled for. Then you get Don leaves, and the rest of the Don Callis family leaves, and it's left of Okada and Fletcher, where Fletcher thanks Okada for not agreeing to no physicality. And Okada looks at him and he shakes hands and he says that he's glad to help, especially because Takeshita couldn't. And then he's about to walk away, but then he turns back and he says, Proto Kata! Okada, you're a fucking fool. He's a fucking fool for no goddamn reason. The fact that he's flirting with Kyle Fletcher just to get on the skin of Takeshita is fucking... It makes me laugh. I enjoy it. What did you think?
Where's Takeshita?
In Japan.
Fair enough. He's got that fucking ugly belt. He's got to be over there at some point. This is fine. I'm over, much like Kyle O'Reilly, I'm over Mark Briscoe and this forced attempt to make him a bigger deal than he actually is. We should let this go.
Nope, he's winning the title on Saturday.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Good for him. European champion.
Hey, sometimes European title can feel like a big win. If you don't win any other singles title, it can feel like a big win.
Definitely true.
We go to Pac with a pre-recorded interview. He is doing some soul searching, and he feels that he owes Darby an apology. You see, leading up to Blood and Guts, he said he was going to break his neck, but he burnt Darby instead. No one has seen or heard from Darby since then, but he gets it. At Blood and Guts, maybe he did take it a little too far. If you are still the little boy that doesn't quit, then show him that. He is challenging him to a wrestling contest. No chairs, no cattle prods, no tasers, because when you lose the bells and whistles, there is no way that you can compete with a legitimate athlete like that. Yeah, I enjoyed this promo. I know you didn't, but what did you think?
What the fuck is he talking about? The fuck is he babbling about? Why does nobody sell this fucking? At least he kind of sold it about he burned fucking Darby. Are you really the guy that doesn't quit? You just saw it. We all just saw it. Why are we still doing this? Clearly, the man is a psychopath. So what are we doing? I don't understand this. And his big ears and fucking hair and fucking vest or whatever the fuck sweatshirt. I don't like anything about Snoop Pack. I hate it. I hate everything about it.
I like this promo, and I think that Pac is going to be the leader of the Death Riders out of Full Gear.
Absolutely.
I think he beats Darby. Moxley. I'm hoping Moxley loses to O'Reilly. I'm not sure. I can't say I think Moxley's going to lose to Colorado. After they booked that last night, I'm like convinced that Moxley's probably just going to win. But the right booking, I think, would be Pac beats Darby, Colorado beats Moxley, full Death Riders turn on Moxley, Pac takes over the group.
And Pac leads the Death Riders. Yep. Pac leads Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and Daniel Garcia.
Yep.
And Marina Shafir, maybe.
I don't know about Marina. Marina kind of feels like she's attached to Moxley more than the group. I don't know if you feel that way too, but I kind of feel like that.
I do.
Where she will kind of have the unofficial. Yeah, it's Triple H in China. You're right.
What happened when Triple H in China left DX?
They joined the corporation and then they were gradually separated.
DX is more importantly, DX died. They were alive as a corpse. And that's what we're doing now. Why would we even think about keeping the Death Riders alive after Moxley leaves? Moxley is so far and away the biggest star in this fucking group. It's not particularly good. He's the gap between fucking Triple H and X-Pac is not nearly as big as the gap between Moxley and the next guy in the Death Riders. No disrespect to any of them. This is a terrible idea. This is closer to Roman and the Bloodline.
This is Power Finisher agrees with you. He says the fact folks saw Pac, Claudio, or Marina as the next leader told me this group should end. The leader means the number one, not three options here.
That's a good way to put it. If your star leaves and you have a debate about who the next leader is, you don't have a leader. You don't. Really
I mean, I can't really argue with you with that. That is a good point. That is a good argument. I will say that is a good argument.
It's horrible. In this group, fucking MFT ass group. What are we doing? This Solo was funny. What are these bums got? Jesus.
Oh man, at least Solo is funny. All right, let's talk about the Dynamite portion of last night's show's main event. AEW Men's World Champion Hangman Adam Page going one-on-one with the vital member of the Death Riders he has not gone one-on-one with during this rivalry, Katsuyori Shibata. This was the first time that I've seen Shibata work heel in a matchup since 2014. He gets attacked right at his entrance by Hangman Adam Page. Hangman sends him into the barricade. He grabs Shibata and walks past an irate Samoa Joe. Page sends Shibata into the ring. He turns around and looks at Joe, allowing Shibata to slide out with a baseball slide before eventually bringing him to the ring to start the match officially. Shibata takes Page around ringside, slamming him into barricades. He sets him up on a chair, but Page is able to reverse it. Shibata ends up in the chair, and then Page hits a running lariat, knocking the chair and Shibata to the floor. Page returns Shibata to the ring and proceeds to stomp away at him in the corner. Shibata eventually gets a snap suplex after distraction by Joe on the floor, which Joe claps for on commentary. I thought Joe was good on commentary, especially him just going at Bryan Danielson. I love the one point where this nigga said, he was like, oh, what do you talk about being active? Because they were going on Joe, why Joe hasn't been wrestling as much as Page on the road to the championship matchup. And then Brian was like, yeah, when I was full-time, when I was active, I wrestled every week. And Joe was like, when you were active. I was like, God damn. Joe went in on this man. Shibata sets up Page in the corner a la Goldust. He looks like he's about to hit the running kick, but then just does a flip kick right to the turnbuckle and basically into the balls of Hangman. We get a low blow by Shibata. I've never seen, even when he was heel in New Japan, I'd never seen him do a low blow. He gets that into a cross arm breaker, but Page is able to get his foot on the rope. Shibata transitions into an ankle lock. Page slowly crawls to the rope. Shibata holds on to the ankle lock until Page's boot, cowboy boot, goes flying off. It makes basically Shibata look like a fool because he's like, what is this? Is this a cowboy boot? I don't know how boots work. And Hangman then takes his head off with a lariat. He then grabs the boot. Great catch by Hangman. Hangman's always good with that timing-wise. He catches the boot in midair, puts the boot right back on, goes right to the apron, hits the buckshot lariat. 1, 2, 3. Hangman Adam Page picks up the win over Shibata here. I thought the finish was a fun one, a la the Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle finish from WrestleMania 20. So good callback to that finish on the week of Eddie Guerrero's anniversary as well. So I thought that was a nice little touch there. Hangman and Shibata had a hard-hitting matchup. It was a solid match between the two men. Post-match, you get Hangman gets on the mic. He first low blows Shibata, kicking him right in the dick. Then he gets on the mic. He sees Samoa Joe at the commentary desk, and he tells him that now he is all alone. He says that he put Hobbs in a hospital. He put Shibata, he sent Shibata to a dick surgeon. So now all that is left is him, Joe, inside of a steel cage at Full Gear. He says that all you done in all this time, while I'm beating up all the members of the ops, all you've done is done commentary for wearing a damn poncho on your head. He says that it's just me and you now. He's taking care of everybody, and he wants Joe to remember what he did the last time he was locked inside of a steel cage with somebody. And because if he has to do it again, then he will. He raises the AEW World Championship. All the while, Samoa Joe was the best part of all of this. He was just seething on comment. He had this look of like anger, concern, as well as trepidation all at once. Joe is just so good. He's so good when he talks. He's so good in the ring still. And he's so good even when he doesn't talk with his facial expressions. What did you think about Hangman and Shibata and Joe on commentary?
Joe was fucking fantastic. Joe looked so angry, like he was about to cry. That's how angry he fucking was. I must say this, by the way, and it pains me to say it. How do I put this politely? If you have a glass of lemonade and you have a glass of water, you pour the water into the lemonade, you have diluted lemonade, right? But if you have a glass of lemonade and you have a piece of shit, you take the piece of shit and you throw it in lemonade. You do not have diluted lemonade. You just have shit. It just becomes shit. Dragon's getting worse and worse the more Shivani's around. It just is. He was not. This match was the exception. He was terrible the whole fucking show. I'm sorry. I love Dragon.
It was the first week since he's gotten on commentary where I wasn't raving about anything that he did in any other matches.
Jarring.
Except for this one. I do agree with you. Him and Joe going at it was great.
He was great. This is a great match, right, Brian? Yeah, this is really good. Oh, good lord. See him ruin Dragon. Please shut up. Go away. This match was, we knew what was going to happen. But it was fine enough. I thought it was probably the best match of the night. I mean, of the Dynamite portion, at the very least. Joe was fantastic. Finish was solid. Promo, I wish we would have expounded for those of us who have done our best to forget the fucking swerve match to explain exactly what the fuck you mean. But it worked mostly. I mean, to be fair, we've seen the numbers. There's nobody who's watching the show that didn't see the fucking swerve thing.
To be fair, yeah, most of the people are gonna be watching that. I don't know. Yeah, I thought that the promo portion probably would have been better if it was a promo exchange. Like they agreed, no physicality. Joe can say what he said backstage, but to Hangman's face, and maybe throw in a little bit extra, and then Hangman can make the reference. And I think face to face, the reference hits a little bit more than him cutting a promo on Joe at commentary.
Agreed. And I don't think we need to have no physicality. I mean, we should have no physicality, but I don't think we need that as a step because I know it's not going to end in physicality, which kind of turns me off.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, you don't need that, but you should at least be like, I'll let you say what you need to say before we get to this, basically, type of thing.
Yeah, and they both just leave. Well, Joe leaves. Yeah. He's the heel.
Yeah. This was a good part of the show for me as well, other than my critique about the promo or portion of it. When you want a good promo, though, who you gonna call? FTR. FTR are here with Stokely Hathaway backstage. They are talking about their AEW World Tag Team Championship matchup at Full Gear. FTR says 11 years ago, FTR was formed. And 9 years ago, they had a classic, says Stokes. Do you think anything that you do, Brodito, will be remembered in 9 years? Cash Wheeler says that he wants Brodito to relax. They aren't going to lock them in a room again. They won't attack Bandito's family or that deadbeat Ricky Steamboat. Dax Harwood says that 9 years ago, they did have a classic, but they have had so many more since then. They have been champions across 7 promotions, and they are hanging their hat on this upcoming match. And Brodito, you happen to be in the way. Top guys out. Simple, effective. Promoted the show on Saturday, their big matchup, promoted their self and their own legacy, and they did it all in a minute 30. This is why they are the best act, or one of the best acts, probably the best heel act in all of AEW.
I'd say the best heel act of professional wrestling. I
agree with you there. And I don't view Becky as a heel. She's the babyface. She got robbed on Monday. Oh, what are we talking? Bros for Becky. Bros for you're not a bro for Becky. You should be a bro for Becky.
Not a bro for fucking anything.
Me, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and you. This would be the Magic Stable. Bros for Becky.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, FTR. Fucking great. Greatest tag team of all time. Are there any argument against them not being greatest tag team of all time that doesn't include revolutionized professional wrestling, Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian and them, which has no concern for me at all. It's like Magic Bird conversation, don't care. Or built a company, which doesn't take place in the ring or on the mic. Is there any argument otherwise?
Spectacular. There's others that had as many great matches as them.
Can they talk like Dax though?
That's the part.
Can they talk like Cash?
The Briscoes. Jay Briscoe can talk as good as
we can have that conversation
as either one. And Mark Briscoe now has grown into someone who can stand next to his brother. But Jay Briscoe was doing a lot of heavy lifting in their prime.
It's the best argument I heard. So I gotta be honest. The more I listen to Dax, I think he might be the best tag team professional wrestler ever. And I'm not entirely sure it's close. Now, Christian's obviously great after he left Edge. I'm talking about
what's your top 5? What's your top 5 greatest tag team specialists in wrestling history?
Dax.
I think Dax would be up there. The people I think of initially just saying it: Dax, Claudio, Bobby Eaton, Arn Anderson. There's a couple of people that come to mind for the last spot. I was thinking Kofi Kingston. I thought of the Usos, Matt and Jeff Hardy. Who do you think? What's your 5?
I don't have 5. I've got 2. I have a Dax. I've got Arn.
I'm done with you.
That's about the end of the fucking list. You can put Jay in there, Briscoe, if you like. But that's about it. It's jarring how much better Dax is than everybody else. No disrespect. That aside, I really need to win these fucking belts. Bro, Dito had a nice, fun run, but I'm over it. Put the belts up to you.
They hit the peak when they beat Okada and Takeshita last month. That was the peak for them. They beat 2 of the best wrestlers in the world. So yeah, I thought it was the right time for them to lose the titles. I know there's crazy people who seem to hate FTR for some reason. I don't understand them. I don't get them at all. And they don't want FTR to win the title. They're like, oh, we already did that. We already been there, done that. That's not the point. Like, they're the best tag team. If it's not them, it's the Young Bucks. For me, I know for you personally, there's no second to them. So, like, yeah, put the titles on them. Like, of course, this is going to be used to elevate the Copeland and Christian feud. I hope that this is not just them being transitional champions to just put the titles on Copeland and Christian for a few months. Hope it's not that. I'm going to get that clear. But FTR is the best heel act in this company. They should be the tag team champion.
I had no idea. I guess if I would have thought about it, I would have known. I had no idea Ricky Steamboat's name was Richard. And the only reason I found out is because Cash calls him Dick the Dragon Steamboat.
Yes, he did call him Dick the Dragon Steamboat.
I'm like, Dick. Oh, his name is Richard. Oh, okay. I get it. Good on you. Goddamn. So good.
Oscar and Yuto they would probably be in my top 5 for the year, and they've only been around for a few months. But I think like FTR and Young Bucks, they're 1-2, and it's not close. The third option for this year, 2025, they've been the best 2 tag teams for me.
I thought you were talking about all the time. I was like, this nigga's lost his mind.
They are my 1-2 all time. What you gonna say? I don't care. You can say I lost my.
You didn't have FTR in your top 10 last time I seen this fucking list.
I don't care. I haven't done a best tag teams list. I am talking to my editor for Sports Illustrated, talking about doing that. Even though I might do New Day at number 1 because I know Xavier will cut promos on it. Nah, let me not do that. As far as like greatest tag teams of all time, I think FTR, Young Bucks, Hardys, Steiners. Those are like the teams that I would say is in my top 5. If I had to say a 5th one, probably New Day because of their impact. Honestly, the impact is what takes them over the top. They had great matches, especially the series with the Usos, but their impact, their drawing power, like that's why I would say they make a strong case for a top 5 push.
No, man. As long as FTR is 1, you can do whatever the fuck you want the rest of the list.
I don't have FTR at 1.
I know, which means the list is objectively wrong. I didn't like FTR at all when they first got here. Mostly because Cash was bigging up how good these guys are. And then they had a match with fucking Butcher and Blade, and I was like, that was ass. What are you even talking about? It takes some time to get into it. Right. So I was right. Holy shit, they're fucking fantastic.
When did it hit you? I think it was the babyface turn in 2022, right? Isn't it?
Is that when they were getting outrageous pops?
Yes, with the new music. When they first had the new music.
That's when I knew they were great. I knew they were good before then. I was like, holy shit. Those pops are so good. And the music is fantastic.
Yeah.
Remember when Dynamite was good? All right, never mind. Let's go.
It was good a couple of months ago. It was good last week. It was great last week.
No, I already told you that doesn't count. That's like Raw.
No, it counts. It counts. We're not retconning
Roman
it.
came back. Brock came back, and Rhea came back. Yeah, that's
we're not retconning it. I'm not retconning Madison Square Garden. That was great too. AEW Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament first round action. Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne versus Ty J. Megan Bayne comes out first. Marina Shafir joins her. They get that nice little pose in front of the titles. They are versing the longest running team in AEW, Ty Mello and Anna Jay. You get Shafir and Ty Mello starting it off. They get a hard-hitting exchange showing off their MMA background with some strikes. Ty takes Marina to her corner. Anna tags in and they do a double team suplex. But Megan then enters the ring. They low bridge her to the floor, and to the floor we go. Mello shoves Shafir into the ring apron. Megan crashes into the steel steps. Both Anna and Ty climb the barricade, and they hit stereo cross bodies to their opponents. In the ring, Shafir decks Mello and then catches Anna kick and throws her to the mat. Bayne with the tag in. She hits a double clothesline as she poses as we head to a commercial break. Anna then hits a blockbuster when we return from commercial break. She gets a tag into Ty Mello, who hits a running PK on Bayne. Bayne is able to come back, but Anna and Ty, they try for stereo suplex. After some struggle, they eventually are able to complete the feat. We get double guillotines, but that's reversed by Megan and Marina. Double suplex to Anna, and then Mello tries to fight back, sending Shafir to the floor. Bayne decks Ty, and then Anna from behind gets this Queen Slayer. But then Marina Shafir is back in now after a blind tag. Shafir breaks the hold on Megan Bayne and then locks Anna Jay in the mother's milk. Anna Jay has no choice but to tap out right before she passes out. Dominating performance by Marina and Megan here. They gave Ty J some offense to kind of show that they had been together for a while and they're facing the most inexperienced team together in the tournament. But Marina and Megan, they look like beasts in the women's blood and guts. They should have won here. I'm glad they won. And it sets up a second round matchup, semifinals against the Timeless Love Bombs. And speaking of Toni and Mina, they show up on the Contron. She says that Toni says this is a bloody delight. They aren't leaving until they wear their skulls as a necklace. And then they can name the stipulation for their match after they win at Full Gear. She says that it could be a chicken coop match, apartment wrestling, but then Mina says, Taipei death match. Toni says, John Moxley will piss himself bloody seeing what they do to his little girls. As Toni and Mina send off, they do their pose while Marina and Megan are watching on ahead of the second round matchup. What did you think about Marina and Megan versus Ty J here?
Match wasn't very good. I don't know if I quite call it bad, but certainly didn't reach good. Right team won. That's all I can really fucking say. Megan Bayne is underutilized in her role, but hey, it's something, I suppose. Referring to them as Moxley's girls, I might find interesting. I might like that. We're gonna slide Megan Bayne to Death Riders once Moxley and Marina leave, or booted rather.
Let's see that. That might work. Keep her in a prominent spot because obviously Toni loves the Death Riders.
Why? No, whatever. It doesn't matter.
He believes that they are responsible for the turnaround of AEW.
What turnaround? What are you talking about?
We get a video package of Chris Statlander. The premise of the promo is that she never loses focus. She says focus and she gives it different acronyms, like F is for all that I've done and all that you have been focused on, getting all your titles around the world. O is for how offended you should be that I'm doing this. Somewhere I can see GJ from Follow the Revolution agreeing wholeheartedly with this message. Honestly, though, despite Jimmy laughing and me like treating this not that all that serious, I honestly feel this might have been the best presentation of Chris Statlander in a promo form that we could have seen. She's much better in pre-tape than in backstage promo or a live promo.
Bringing that one back out, huh? You said it about Jack Perry. I remember. We saw how that one ended up. I assume Statlander did a little better than that, but it's all the same.
He lost
You
his
can't do
mojo.
it.
He just lost his mojo.
He lost mojo. He lost those 60 pounds somewhere. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And Stat doesn't have it on the mic. It's fine. It's fine. Chris Benoit didn't have it. If he didn't kill his wife and kid, he'd be considered in much higher esteem. So, yeah, maybe that'd be Statlander. Hopefully she marries somebody who can defend herself.
We get backstage, the Bang Bang Gang are here. It sounds like Austin Gunn said jailbreak instead of tailgate brawl. Juice Robinson just keeps repeating $200,000. And they talk about the different people that are going to be in the $200,000 four-way matchup, including the not acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, Big Bill and Brian Keefe, and the Outrunners. Juice Robinson just says $200,000. I like the way he says it. It was funny. After a while, he kept repeating himself. Eventually, they say that they are going to win the money and take the win at the tailgate brawl at Full Gear.
Save us, Jay White.
Hey, they gave him a win over FTR, so they're going to probably be in line for a tag team title shot coming out of Full Gear.
It's ass backwards booking. And you beat FTR. Oh, whatever. Who cares? It's not important. It's not important.
Juice wants to divert the money into funds and make a 401k. He probably takes care of the money for Timeless Tony Storm. Then we got a double Jeopardy matchup. CMLL's Mascara Dorada is back as he's going to go one-on-one with AEW Unified Champion Kazuchika Okada. This one is a double Jeopardy matchup, meaning that if Dorada picks up the victory, he gets an opportunity at the AEW Unified Championship. Whereas if Okada wins, he and the Don Callis family get an opportunity at the CMLL World Trios Championships, currently held by Dorada, Mystico, and Neon, known as Sky Team.
The family gets a shot?
Yeah.
Of course. Okada don't want that shit.
No, Okada's getting that shit.
You said the family gets a shot.
I said he and the family get a shot.
I'm so very confused.
Okada takes Dorada to the ropes, gives it a clean break. We get another tie-up. Okada overpowers Dorada and clubs him in the back. Dorada reverses Okada and he rolls through, kick to Okada in the gut, and then hits the ropes. He hits a arm drag from the top. He feigns diving out of the ring, but Okada moves and Dorada poses in the ring. There was a couple of clunky spots for Dorada. It wasn't as clean and smooth as we're usually used to in the early going of this matchup, but I think that both men were able to recover from there. You get Okada, who's stalling a bit at ringside before taking control. Okada looked like he was going to take off from the ring, but Dorada springs from the apron to the top rope and hits an arm drag to Okada out of the ring. Dorada takes off and hits a nice little tope. He then follows up and returns Okada back to the ring, but Okada quickly reverses things and sets him up in the corner and hits his patented dropkick, sending Dorada to the floor. 90-second break is over. Okada gets kicked in the forehead as we return. Okada on the apron, and Dorada hits a dodgy-looking DDT, but that looked like it could have fucking wrecked Okada's neck. Back in the ring, Dorada hits a monkey flip to Okada. Okada tries to catch Dorada, but he leaps onto the top rope and then hits a reverse landing Hurricane Rana. Okada to the floor, and Dorada hits a corkscrew splash to the floor. He heads up to the top rope. He goes for the 450 splash, but the pool is empty. Okada hits his patented neck breaker. He then sets up Dorada for the falling elbow drop and hits the middle finger Rainmaker pose. Rainmaker is countered by Dorada, but he runs right into an Okada dropkick. Okada picks up Dorada, and then he gets rolled up for a 2 count. He charges Dorada, but Dorada sits on the top rope, kicks him in the head. He brings Okada out of the corner and hits a sit-out driver that looked good. Then he finally hits the 450 splash for a near fall. Okada finds himself on the top rope again as Dorada goes up top. He looks for this crazy-looking Hurricane Rana, and oh my God, Okada just killed Dorada. He catches him on the Hurricane Rana, hits this dodgy-looking powerbomb where Dorada landed right on the top back of his neck. Okada then picks him up. He looks for the Rainmaker, but Dorada reverses that to a roll-up for 2. But then Okada just hits him with the dropkick. He then hits him with the Takeshita Raging Fire, and then finishes him off with the Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3. Okada picks up the victory here. And what I thought was a very fun matchup. Like I said, it was clunky in the early going, but I thought like the final 10 minutes, the closing stretch really came together. And that powerbomb was fucking ridiculous. And that should have probably been the end of the matchup, period. That should have just been Okada hit the Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3. Let's go home. This match was really kind of, you had the spectacular offense of Dorada, and Okada had his timing down pat. So a great matchup to me. We get post-match, Don Callis gets on commentary, and he talks about the Don Callis family getting a shot at the CMLL World Trios Championships at the Full Gear tailgate party. He says that it will be Kazuchika Okada, Chisato, and making his triumphant return from Japan, Konosuke Takeshita. And Okada fucking looks like he just had someone piss in his cereal. He's like, But it is official. It will be El Sky Team versus the Don Callis family on the Saturday Tailgate Brawl live on TNT for the CMLL World Trios Championships. What did you think about Okada versus Dorada?
I'm kind of big man dogs on this. This was the most disappointing match of the night for me. I don't know if it was the worst match. That's probably Ricochet then. But when I saw this on the card, I looked forward to it. Probably more than anything else. I just didn't love it. I didn't really like it. A couple good spots, but I felt like Okada was back in mode, we'll say. We'll be very generous to say he's back in Kevin Nash mode, which I'm not mad at as a person. Get paid. But as a viewer, I'm a little annoyed. Didn't like it. It's all right.
That's fair. I'd say this one was one that I saw like a lot of polarizing views. There was some people who enjoyed it, some people who hated it, but yeah, it's definitely not a fully well-received matchup like most people expected it would be.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I saw the fact that Dorada botched at least once. But you do shit like that, it happens. It's a risk. It's called high risk for a reason.
Or it probably is. He botched early on, and Okada was like, you know what? I'm not going to bring the A game. I'll give y'all a 4. A 4 or 3.
There's any excuse not to work. Good for you.
Then you had they talked about the lineup for Full Gear. We get the lineup. They talk about the new matches being added. They say Jon Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly has been officially added to the card for this Saturday show. Then we go backstage for an interview, as is Renee Paquette, and she is backstage with the Sisters of Sin, coming off the heels of their victory in the Women's Blood and Guts. Julia and Sky recite basically like a poem or something. I don't know. This seemed kind of goofy to me. I'm just saying, like I was expecting this to kind of just be them bragging about the Blood and Guts victory or setting up their matchup with the Babes of Wrath, but it was just a little too goofy for me. Them reciting some poem or some mantra that they have, and then Tekla coming in and giving the final line. I was like, yeah, that didn't help. Tekla shows up. up and says that if you thought you did sick shit to Willow and Harley before, you ain't seen nothing yet.
This is an old man trying to book like this countercultural underground thing. There's no clue what's going on, and these three ladies apparently not into it much either because they think that these two different gimmicks go together. They're not the same kind of spooky. I am fucking sorry. Sky Blue and Julia Hart are not the same kind of weird that Tekla is. Tekla's like a shitty, lesser version, a poor man's version of what Toni Storm was before. Kind of half a rock star. While the other two are being the Undertaker. Like, these things don't go together because they're all weird. That's not how that works. Sorry.
Agreed. Like we haven't found where we can get all these people into kind of the same feel of characters, and you might be right that it's probably not possible with this combination of characters.
Yeah, they're all short and attractive. That doesn't quite count as enough. Sorry. Not quite enough to pull us all together.
ROH Women's TV Championship Unification matchup was our main event. Red Velvet, the current reigning champion, versus interim Ring of Honor Women's TV Champion, the Ultimo, Moné, Mercedes Moné. Red Velvet is competing in her first match in 4 months since she suffered an injury that kept her sidelined from Ring of Honor. Both ladies get into each other's face before the opening bell. The bell officially rings, and there is an early roll-up by Moné for a near fall. Velvet returns in kind and then hits an arm drag. They both miss on drop kicks, and I didn't realize that Moné looks like a giant compared to Red Velvet in this matchup. And we got to see kind of a lot of the Mercedes power moves in this matchup as well. Moné hits a Meteora from the corner. She goes over to the timekeeper's table. She raises both Ring of Honor TV titles right into Chris Statlander's face, who's on commentary, allowing a chance to attack her. Moné throws Velvet into Statlander at the table and then throws her into the ring. Statlander gets on the apron, and the distraction allows Moné to hit Velvet with one of the titles. Moné throws the title away, but Velvet seems to have an iron head as she just fights off Moné instead. Velvet hits a side suplex to Moné for a near fall as we return from commercial break. Velvet hits a Meteora of her own to the back of Moné, and another pinfall gets a 2 count. Velvet wants to stir it up, but Moné catches her into a statement maker. Velvet gets to the ropes, but Moné pushes her off to keep the hold on. Velvet manages to break free with a roll-up for a 2 count. Velvet with a short arm scissors, and we get CEO chants as Moné lays her back for a near fall. Both ladies to their feet. Moné catches Velvet with a standing kick. Hits her, goes for the Meteora, but she misses. So Velvet hits a release German suplex. Spinning kick gets a near fall for Red Velvet. She goes around the world and locks in a flying octopus. But Moné is able to counter out of that into this sick-looking lung blower right to the chest. Moné gets a 2 count off of that. Moné with a knee strike. She heads to the top rope, but Velvet's able to cut her off. Both ladies struggle for control. Velvet hits a wheelbarrow destroyer from the top, gets a near fall. Excalibur says that O'Reilly and Moxley has been made official before Velvet hits a flying head scissors to Moné. Again to the corner we go, but this time Moné's able to catch Velvet and hits an avalanche lung blower, which looked like death. And in another case of back-to-back weeks for us, Jimmy, where we always talk about how most of these Dynamite matches don't end at the peak, this did. This was the coolest thing in the matchup, and it was the end of the matchup, and I was so relieved. On commentary, we see Chris Statlander was even impressed with the finish of the matchup, but she says that she is ready for Mercedes. We get Mercedes gets both titles and celebrating. She gets up on the announce table and gets in Chris Statlander's face. Statlander raises her AEW Women's World Championship. So Mercedes jumps off the announce table, hits her with the Meteora. She then locks her into the statement maker and basically making Chris Statlander tap out just mere days ahead of Full Gear as Mercedes stands tall to close the show in our hometown of Boston. What did you think about Red Velvet and Mercedes Moné? Honestly, to me, this was the best match on the show. I thought that Red Velvet, this might have been the best Red Velvet match that I seen. I thought both ladies had the crowd invested after a 3-hour show, and that impressed the hell out of me. And I really love the finish and the bumps in this matchup. And when you have someone who can bump around and sell for Mercedes and make our power offense look good, it makes for a really good matchup. I enjoyed the hell out of this. What did you think?
Good match. Red Velvet was better than I thought, I must say. All Mercedes matches are really hurt by the fact that you know what's coming, and that is a Mercedes win. But for the most part, I thought they filled the time well. The Statlander was fine on commentary. Not great. Not fucking Bobby Heenan, but good enough. And I thought the finish was the best part. So that's a win. Best match of the night? Yeah, probably. I can't think of another one outside of maybe the one that killed people.
People getting killed was the key to that was the theme on the night. Dorada got killed, Velvet got killed on that final spot, and Speedball got killed on the night.
Yeah, good.
Why do you want death for all these people?
Not death. Just removed from the television. Please and thank you. Look, I'll be honest. People all thought it was really fun. He's in his appropriate spot, which is getting squashed in a really long match. It's shat on consistently by MVP, criticizing his technique. The best MVP's been on commentary forever.
Oh, he just kept saying that. You really don't like him. Stop playing like this is just a joke. Yeah, I agree with Big Man Dogs. I thought Red Velvet was one of the more impressive people on this whole entire show. The fact that she was out for 4 months and showed no ring rust. Why did Masquerada Dorado, one of the best high flyers in wrestling, show more ring rust and he's only been off of wrestling for a week, while Red Velvet's been off for 4 months and didn't show any?
I'm not going to answer that. Good on you, sister. Keep up the good work.
But yes, good showing by everybody involved. And this was the match I was referring to earlier that I enjoyed as much as some of the other matches that I saw this week, because I just was very much surprised. I think that's the surprise factor. I was like, I wasn't expecting much. I was expecting really Mercedes Moné versus Mercedes Moné versus Laney Lay, or whatever her name was. The girl, Kaden Carter from WWE. That matchup.
Oh, Lacey Lane.
Lacey Lane, yeah.
That's some respect for Lacey Lane. Good Lord.
Yeah, because you showed real respect to her, sir.
That's her name. She had it before these people. Lord, what a terrible name. The Pebble. You're a fucking idiot. Call yourself that. Change it. Like you were fucking running the world before that. Just change it. Lord.
That brings us to the end on another edition of AEWramble. Want to thank you all for joining us live. Want to thank you all if you're watching us on demand. Either way, drop the thumbs up on the video, like it. That helps us out so much. You can hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're with us live, if you're with us on demand, you can comment down below in the comment section and give us your ratings for the show. And if you're with us live, final call for super chat donations. Appreciate all the love and support with that. But we want to know from all of you, your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, your moment of the night. Whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give last night's show? For me and Jimmy, for the November 19th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite and Collision in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up from me, thumbs in the middle from Jimmy. Out of 10, what did you give the show, Jimmy?
6.25, which would usually be a failing grade, but we're gonna round it up. Or say it can be rounded up at the very least. I thought all the matches were uninspiring outside of Speedball and Shelton. and the main event, all the promos are bad. And the booking on the show is jarring to me. I don't understand any of this. It's like we didn't have a gigantic show last week. Like it didn't even happen.
Yeah, the booking is the real thing that kind of hurts the score for me. I was aiming at like a 7.5, but I had so big issues with the follow-up to how good Blood and Guts was, and then you just completely diminish the impact of that show with a lot of the booking on this show. I gotta break it down to like a 7 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10. It's just passing. It's not like a real good passing grade. But I thought that this was the layout and what they had laid out as far as like the last hour. This felt like the first time when they did a 3-hour Dynamite that they didn't punt on the final hour. They gave us one of the matches that a lot of people were looking forward to with Okada and Dorada. They gave the main match on the show, which was the Mercedes matchup because it was her hometown. They gave that in the final hour of the show. It wasn't a complete punt on the final hour. So I do appreciate that. I do give them credit for that. So I'll go 7 out of 10. Jimmy, what was your match of the night?
I'm going to go with Red Velvet and Mercedes. It's only because they're black. It gives them the tie break over Shelton and Speedball, which is only half black.
I'm also going to give it to Red Velvet and Mercedes Moné. They just worked really well with each other. And I like the little story beats that they added to it, like the whole Eddie Guerrero spot where Red Velvet threw the title and then acted like she was down. It was a callback to Mercedes' inspiration for becoming a wrestler. And then they talked about how Red Velvet, you said that Mercedes was her inspiration for becoming a wrestler. I like that type of stuff, giving us a little bit more background as well.
How old is Red Velvet? Dare she? Sounds like horseshit.
I mean, if she started wrestling like past 2016, then it's not out the world of the possibility that the Brooklyn matchup is the reason why she started wrestling.
Fucking egregious. How the fuck is your hero the same age as you are? They are. They're both 33. Get the fuck out of here. You're fucking nonsense. Beat it. Beat it.
You could have. I get inspired by you. I was inspired by you to create this channel. Yes, she was inspired. She said she was inspired by Mercedes to become a pro wrestler.
I inspired you to change your fucking job profession?
You inspired me to start a channel.
Stop it.
You inspire me. You're saying you're younger than me. You're 3 months younger than me.
I'm a lot younger than you.
You inspire me.
Let's not get into it.
You're not a lot younger than me. Sir, 3 months is not a lot.
3 months? There's a lot of damage you can do in 3 months. They can't get 4 or 5 women pregnant in 3 months.
You tried. Well, who was your MVP for the show, Jimmy?
I'm gonna go with Samoa Joe. Commentary was great. Facial expressions were great. And nobody else really deserved it. So there's that.
I'm going to go with Don Callis. I think Don Callis is one of my favorite characters on the show. He's just so 1980s carny villain, and I enjoyed him. And I thought the post-match to the Bucks match with Kenny Omega was the most effort that we got from any of the go-home angles. Not saying much, but Don Callis carried. LVP for the show, Jimmy.
Tony Khan. I wanted to do codes for Tony Khan and the Elite, but Tony Khan fucked up the Elite thing. He fucked up Moxley and fucking Darby and packing them. Still doing that shit. Still doing fucking what was the other one that bugged the shit out of me? Oh, right. The Hurt Syndicate and whatever the fuck that shitty group Ricochet has. We're still doing all this. Let's move on with fucking life.
I will go with LVP. Yeah, definitely Tony Khan for the follow-up to Blood and Guts. It's so disappointing. It just enraged me last night watching that show. I was just like, why are they? Did they just say a tag team match? I was like, if he's coming out here to cut a promo, that's fine. But if he's coming out here to have a match, this is so wrong. This is not the right move to do after a Blood and Guts matchup. We do not need this. You announced 7 matches and gave us 2 unannounced matches. There was 9 matches on the show last night.
Fucking egregious.
Jesus, you do not need that. You could just do a promo. It is a go-home show. Why is this a 3-hour go-home show that seems allergic to promos?
Did you watch his interview with Ariel Helwani that everybody's fucking blowing him about?
I think he did well with his prepared answers.
I didn't see it. I think I'm watching it.
I think you should watch it.
Well, his prepared answers, I'm not interested. I guess it's better than not answering like he did before.
Yeah, exactly. It is better than not answering. But no, there was a lot of genuine, even though it was prepared, there was some genuine stuff, some genuine answers. And media trained Tony Khan has been a part of the thing that's kind of helped the perception of AEW throughout 2025.
Well, that's fucking something, I suppose. Though I'm pretty sure perception is supposed to be a means to an end that doesn't appear to be coming. You want public perception to be good, so then things get better. Things are not getting better. He's still an idiot. Numbers still bad. Like, what's the point of all this? In fact, it's worse because now he's less interesting.
You liked him. Yeah, I knew it. You liked him when he was doing all that crazy
I thought he was interesting. Now he's just fucking for your bad booker who's not interesting. You're Triple H. Fuck do I want to do for?
He can't win. He can't win with you.
Just be a good booker. Then you can do it all you want. You can do all the cocaine you want. You'll have no complaints from me at all.
So it's so disappointing. I can't win with you, sir.
You've never been good at your job, sir?
You always just find something else to complain about.
You just find that one thing. Like his job? Yes.
Find something else to complain about. You're not fooling me, sir. You're just gonna find something else to complain about.
What we do is shit on Triple H. Bad at his job. We're not picking on him. He's bad at his job. Tony Khan's bad at his job.
No. I have it on good authority from Triple H himself, the most objective person on this topic that you guys are picking on.
Good Lord. I don't want him to be media trained, so he can talk about how he's going to change things and not interested.
I mean,
you say things are great, and you're all just idiots. I prefer that.
Well, there you go.
I'm right. You're wrong.
What was your moment of the night?
Not a one. Nothing on the show grabbed me, even a little bit. Sorry. Maybe Dick Steamboat, maybe.
Dick Steamboat in the FTR promo, that was fun. I'm gonna say Samoa Joe seething. That seething face by Samoa Joe. That's my moment of the night. All right, that brings us to an end of another edition of AEW Dynamite and AEWramble. Want to thank you all for joining us. If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up, comment down below if you're watching us on demand. Jimmy, thank you once again for another edition of AEWramble. Let the people know where they can follow you on social media, when they will see you again.
No, I'm good. I'll pass it that. I got a delivery. I shall see you all.
Follow us on the Twitter machine. You can follow me at TrueHeelSB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHeelHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHeelHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we are not live here. Check out GOAT Match Series with me and Jimmy, watching Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi from Ring of Honor 2005. Check out our new show, True Heel Heat Hot Takes, where I talk about all the AEW missed opportunities with Kenny Omega in 2005 ahead of his return on last night's Dynamite. Check out all of our coverage of last week's AEW Blood and Guts, where me and Jimmy talked about it on last week's AEWramble, as well as the True Heel Heat flagship podcast with Top Guy JJ and Miss Chrissy Love talking about it as well. And join us live here tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, our AEW Full Gear 2025 preview. It will be myself, Jay News, and Maggie breaking down all the action, all the matches this Saturday at AEW Full Gear 2025. I will be live in Newark, New Jersey. So if you're going to be there as well, come say hi to your brother SP3. But it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. For Jimmy Macram, thank you to all of you who joined us. This has been AEWramble, episode 225, 14 before 15. We are signing off until next time.